Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of
Imperfect Peace.
Oh yes. Hey. So how you been, sis?
I've been pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This was a little bit of a rough week, but I made it.
Yes, it was a rough week. We made it. All right, so let's go ahead and welcome our ancestors in. Y'all already know the deal. Have y'all tea lights? Let's go. Yes, and we have officially welcomed our ancestors in the building. All right, so you already know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's time for happy hour. It's time for happy hour. Hey. Oh man. Okay, so it is time for happy hour. You ready for happy hour? What's your happy hour? Go ahead first.
Let's see. What is my happy hour? I'm not sick no more. Not sick no more. I feel a lot better. I just have a nasty little cough. But other than that, not really much is going on this week. I mean, it's been pretty literally. Oh, how could I forget? I have reached a new level of peace.
You really have.
I have. I'm in such a beautiful spot. Like, I'm not hurting for anything. I'm actually looking for my own first place. Again, this time is going to be way more successful than the last. But my life is really picking up. Like, all blessings are over here.
That's so, yes. I love it, sis. Yes. Okay. All right. So my happy hour is the same thing. Like, I'm just at peace. I'm trying to finally understand what rest means. I've come to a point where I'm listening to myself now, and myself is like, okay, you need to rest. So I guess I want to say I've hit a new level for myself because I do not rest. Sis knows that. I'm always, on go. But I had to hit the pause button. It's time to rest. So
yes,
that's my happy
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
The whole week off is going to be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, all right, sis. And what she means by the week off is we do a mentorship program. So that's what she's talking about. We're taking a week off. And that's, basically what I'm talking about. Being like, all right, I have to push pause. Need to stop for a second. So yeah, happy hour. Cheers.
Yes.
Whew. All right. Oh, that was harsh.
Yeah, a little bit. It was not. I'm so grateful I ate before that.
Speaking of harsh, girl, Russia and Ukraine.
Oh yeah, you know what? You showed me the article recently because I be having a hard time following certain things. But as far as world news right now, I'm definitely tuned in. Sis, thank God you sent me that article about. Did not know Biden was freezing their assets over here. Like, wouldn't have believed you if you didn't send me that video. That shit is wild. Like, there's this TikToker too. I wish I knew his name so I can give him his props. But he had, you sent it to me too, about the charts of the placements of that shit was dope too. And I really wanted to pull cards on this situation and also get some of your some of your input, because I'm not trying to put your business out there, so I'm trying to be careful how I word this. I just know that if anything was to go down, sis, you're in jeopardy. And it's one of those situations where it's like, you know, I feel like people aren't taking this as seriously as they should. I feel like if you pay attention to what's going on, this is another power play of greed that people, again, is being exposed on another level that people are not witnessing. And I would definitely love to hear your input on that.
I totally agree with you. Of course, I can't give too much input because of my job. So, but like you said, it's at such a level of greed that it's just like unbecoming. And I pray for the people in Ukraine. Like, it's just to see, I know many people probably have seen this video where a father was crying to, you know, saying goodbye because he had to send his kids and his wife off to the free zone. And people from, I believe it's like 16 to 60 males cannot leave Ukraine right now. I believe that's part of a draft situation. And it's just heartbreaking to know that lives are, you know, going to be taken for greed. It's crazy. But not only is it going to affect, like, you know, people's lives being taken, is like gas prices are going to go up. The cost of food is going to go up. Scarcity of food, maybe, because Ukraine is a large, you know, food, you know, source for some. And it's just like, it's really sad that all of this is happening. It's like, for what, you know? So
at what cost? Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's crazy to me. But you said you wanted to pull some cards on it, so let's go.
I did. I wanted to get the ancestors' input on definitely the Ukraine situation. You know what? And I really feel like the energy of this, yes, it's going to be definitely a world message. But I also feel there's a lot of people in power. Their people are wanting to speak out about their views. Did you see that?
No.
I had a car fly out. Okay. But no, I feel like there are people whose these cards are popping. But there are big people whose ancestors are really wanting to speak up on this situation, and I'm not really shocked about it because of, I'm not trying to say this is a big move, but this is a big move, and I just feel like it's not too much for us to be worried about, but I do feel like you need to open your eyes. I feel like if anybody has been asking for a sign at all on this situation, okay, yeah. If anybody at all was paying attention to world news right now, you would understand that there is a big play for money. And I did pull my 3 cards. I got a Judgment in reverse, a 4 of Wands in reverse, and a Page of Cups. The Page of Cups lets me know we're going to be okay, though. I really do. And we've talked about that. I honestly feel like this is a situation that, yes, you're going to have a lot of big boys at play. Unfortunately, the Judgment in reverse is letting me know that this is definitely blockages just from down the line of greed. Everybody wants their hands on Ukraine because it's another place like Africa. They are very rich in resources that is used in a lot of manufacturing that people don't realize. And a lot of this stuff is imported from Ukraine. And with that being said, that is why I feel like Putin is definitely trying to get his hands on this, because it's a big old money scheme. And I feel like Biden is really trying to be Switzerland, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, I don't want to have to play a part, but if I do, you know what I'm saying? I want what's coming to me type situation. Like, I'm not doing this for the free. And, you know, what makes me sad is this Judgment in reverse is also letting me know that this is a repeat of history. This is something we've already seen before, that we've already been through, that they haven't learned from. And the sad part is the people are literally at the top and they're upside down. Nobody's giving a fuck about the little people, us.
They never do.
I know, but it's just a strong emphasis. You know what I'm saying? Because the Four of Wands, this is also letting me know, don't nobody know what they really want to do. It's just about money. It's not even a strategic play to this. It's literally like, oh, that's up for grabs, I want it type situation. That's definitely what I'm getting with the Four of Wands in reverse. You know, because people don't realize that 4 is a number of stability. If it's in reverse, this is definitely disruption all the way. This has nothing to do with building a foundation of any sort. As a matter of fact, it is a huge money play. And the worst part about it is, I feel like, though, this is going to be an eye-opening experience for the world. And that's what I'm getting from the Page of Cups, honestly, is this is what people need to see. And it's one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, it's affecting a lot of lives and a lot of families and just cultures as a whole. But this is something that hopefully is going to wake up the people. This is something that's going to make us realize, like, hey, you know, we're over here worrying about homelessness and colorism and, you know, just racism and poverty, you know, on so many levels. But there are people who are going through worse. You know what I'm saying? These people are having their worlds flipped upside down right now. Bombs, homes being bombed, the airport got bombed. You've seen them blocking people from leaving. I mean, literally killed, smashed that poor person. This is no longer about us as a people, because we've stopped giving a fuck as a people. We need to wake the fuck up.
Yeah, it's really sad. There's actually a gentleman who is from this area in the DMV, where actually right up the street from me. And he plays basketball for Ukraine. And he cannot get out of Ukraine right now. The US embassy is not only vacant, but they have just vanished. He's spoken to his rep, you know, his US rep, and his family, and he's, you know, alerted them that he's okay, but he is scared to death. And they're trying so hard to get him at least to a border where he can cross the border so he can get home. The reason that he couldn't leave Ukraine immediately is because, like I said, he plays basketball for Ukraine, and they didn't give him his check until after all of this stuff had happened. So he didn't have the money to leave. So he couldn't leave. So it's kind of like he was kind of damn near held hostage too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's really sad. My heart goes out to just so many people, but that's the thing that, like, I don't think the people in the US realize, is that we do have people over there for such reasons as that young man, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, like, for him to live literally, like, I used to work in Oxon Hill, like I used to work in the area that he grew up in, and that just it just hits home, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just right up the street, and you have a young man, he's black, you know what I'm saying? You have a black young man who's right up the street, and it's really sad that he couldn't get home.
That breaks my heart. I'm honestly I'm to a point right now, yeah. I'm just to a point now where, you know, it's making me start watching the news again. It's shown my appreciation for watching what's going on, to the point that, you know, I'm going back to my trusted resources that I know are trying to be completely unbiased, or at least coming from the points of which I care about, which, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just say this publicly and not with any shame. It's not that I don't care about Black people and what we're going through, but looking at what we're going through on a global scale is what fucks me up, because you can deal with racism in more than just the US.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So this is one of those things where I hate to admit it, but it's tied up in a big bow of just worldly shit that we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to diminish anything that we're going through, but guys, we as a unit, as a whole, the planet Earth looks bad right now. This shit is just wild that we don't even care about each other. Like, when did... Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I really don't even have anything to say because it's just like, I'm speechless. Like, I don't understand. For me personally, I just don't.
Like, why is the greed? Because greed is brought up twice because I have an Ace of Pentacles in reverse as well. So this is a blocking of a blessings on a global scale. Like, we cannot move forward as a unit because of the little issues like this. And I say little issues because the ancestors don't see our problems the way we see our problems.
Right.
So they're like, this is a minor issue as a world, as a unit that unfortunately is, again, it's going back to that judgment card in reverse, blockage. That's blocking blessings that we can't reap as a fucking planet. That's why this shit looks bad now. Mother Earth is dying. Like, people are not understanding this, and I got a 7 of Swords. We gotta be strategic on how we move, which means I really feel there's no logic in these moves right now. Like, as much as they want to say, it's really just a place of greed. And greed to me doesn't hold the logic enough to destroy people's lives. So
I've 100%. I just
I'm
don't.
Sorry.
Like, I can't, it's hard. But it used to be like when we first started with the war in Iraq, it scared me because my brother was in the army at the time. And so, like, I was so terrified. Like, I was like, I don't want him to have to go. And he went, not only did he go once, he went twice. So, like, now that he's out, I'm just like, I can breathe, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I feel for the families that can't, you know what I'm saying? I feel for the families that were holding their breath like I was, you know what I'm saying? He would write home, and you know what I'm saying? I would be so, so happy when he, would write home and be able to call sometimes. And it's really hard, like, being really worried and concerned. And especially when you see the letters, and then he's like, it's hard because, such and such, was bombed last night, and that was not far from here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like really hard. But my heart goes out. My heart and prayers really go out to all the families that are affected, because I know the U.S. sent 8,500 soldiers out to Ukraine. So my heart and prayers go out to everybody that's not only fighting this senseless fight, but the families who are sacrificing their, father or mother, wife, husband, whomever, brother, sister, son, daughter, whomever, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I really send my love and prayers to you guys. It's just, it's hard. It really is hard, and it's sad, and honestly, it's disgusting. But this is the world that we live in, and my heart and prayers really sincerely go out to you all.
Yeah, sorry for that brief moment of silence there, because that hits hard. Like, it's to a point now, like, they really have to worry, like, stepping outside if it's going to be a problem. They have to create safe zones. Like, that shit is just, I couldn't imagine. It scares the fuck out of me to think.
But there are no safe zones, because they're bombing houses, they're bombing civilians, they're bombing houses, neighborhoods, they're bombing hospitals and stores and like, like, what?
Yeah.
It's just, it's really sincerely sad.
And that's one of those things. It's like, we live in our quaint societies every day, not thinking about any day that could be fucked over due to somebody else's decision that we vote. Sorry. I was about to do it because I get on my rant and it's like I can hear different spirits talking to me for sure, and they're just everybody has their opinions. But I mean, like, there's at the end of the day, everybody's just disgusted due to the fact of the lack of unity, the lack of love. And it's funny because as a society that wants to be based on Christianity, one of the biggest cults ever alive, and the main freaking commandment that he left us before he died on the cross, which everybody loves to talk about, but I guess don't really listen to the story, was to love one another. We can't even fucking do that right. And you want to be given other blessings? When you can't even love your neighbor? Bruh, get the fuck out of here. Get out. That's how I feel. Sorry. Let's move on before.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and definitely move on. So, on a better note, we are two proud, beautiful, melanated queens. And so we cannot, and I know y'all thought we probably were going to end February without doing Black History. What are you talking about? What? No. We're not. So we are doing a little Black History this episode. Are you ready, sis?
Because I'm a firm believer in there's no such thing as Black History Month. This motherfucker's 365 all year round.
That part.
Sorry.
So yeah, for me, for us, for we, it's Black 365. Period. So we don't know what y'all talk about with this whole Black History Month. I mean, we do, we understand, I guess, but that's what they gave us. The shortest month of the shortest month. Thank you. We are so aligned. The shortest month of the year. Like, nah, thank you. It's 365 for me. So we have, like I said, a few Black History people, not Black History people, but a few people that we want to highlight for Black History. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, so for me, let's go. Okay, so my first person is Robert Smalls. Okay, and Robert Smalls was born into slavery in 1839. Okay, he stole a Confederate military ship in 1862. Okay. He distinguished himself as the captain, right? And he outwits and gets past Confederate guard ships by using their secret codes and their hand signs. He rescued more slaves and their families than one would think. He also escaped to freedom. He runs for Congress as well and wins. How about that? Okay. How about that? Robert Smalls.
That is like true activism. Like,
no, that's some gangster shit.
Yes, like, see, now if I ever wanted to be on some slick shit, that's how I would do it. That's the shit I'm gonna do.
Right?
Like, yeah.
When he was like, nah, we ain't going down like that. I'm gonna take this boat. I'm gonna watch y'all, learn y'all little hand signals and shit. I'm gonna get my people and we gonna ride up out of here.
Yeah.
Like, my man's like, he was like, oh, y'all bring us over on a ship? Oh, I'm taking us out on the ship. Yeah. My nigga, like,
yo ship. Get in here.
Thank you. Like, I'm telling you, like, that shit went hard. Like, that's hard as shit for me. Like, I'm like, yo, that nigga went hard as a motherfucker. Yeah. So that's Robert Smalls. That's the first one that I have. And we're not gonna make this episode long, so I'm not gonna hold y'all. But I have also Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner of Monroe, North Carolina. And she was the woman who developed the sanitary pad. Okay. Until sanitary pads were created, women used all kinds of reusable fabrics to absorb menstrual flows. Mary's invention was initially rejected. The first company that showed interest rejected it because of racial discrimination, of course. The world had no choice. Her invention was too important to be ignored. It was later accepted in 1956. 1956. That's not too far from here.
Wasn't that like 30 years later? How long is that?
Exactly 30 years later. You're right. She received 5 patents for her household and other personal items that she's created. One of her inventions is the bathroom tissue holder, which she co-invented with her sister. And the patent number was given to them in October 19th of 1882 for that one. So at least they backdated the patent for it. But
so really, the pad was invented by a Black woman.
Yep.
Look at us. We was the shit.
We so dope. Like super dope. Like, can you imagine like having to reuse different fabrics? And she's like, you know what the fuck? No. Let's go with something else.
Yeah.
And she like really changed the lives of so many ladies. Like, she saved so much clothes, so much money. Yes. Yeah. Money, because you had the detergent. And then sometimes some of that stuff don't come out.
Yeah, I know.
So kudos to her. Shout out to her. Major props to her. Like,
thank you
for real. Like, as a woman, and that's why I was like, yo, that's like, she is very important. So like, as a woman, she's super important. So I had to highlight her. So what do you have, sis?
I'm glad that you ended with a woman, because I have a woman, and I feel like I wanted to kind of touch on how sorry. My boss just texted me. Well, he's not my boss anymore, but he's just an amazing person. Sorry. I have Polly Murray. I chose her specifically because not only did she fight for not exactly feminism, but she was really big on LGBTQ rights, as well as one of the first female Black lawyers that we had. And she's actually from your area, sis. She's from Baltimore. She was born, and they had a hard time actually distinguishing. She was actually Native, but it's one of the Black tribes that we have that we don't talk about. And so whenever she actually took the time to go to college, they didn't even ask her. They assumed she was Black. So even though her family had raised her to know her roots as being like Black Native, they, on all her paperwork, and even when you look at her, she looks Black. I mean, but she's Black Native. And one fun fact about her is that she had a really, really, really close friend that back in the day, you know, it wasn't really acceptable for women to, or anybody really for that matter, to be gay or openly gay at that. So she ended up having lifelong friends. And they specifically had talked of 2. There was one that she had
like Whitney Houston.
See, look, you already know what I'm talking about. She had a friend that didn't want to go down that route. So she ended up just leaving her. And that really that was a good turning point for her that she likes to talk about, because it kind of made her realize that she was a little different than the average woman. And even when she was young, she knew that whenever they used to fight her to wear just dresses to church, she didn't want to wear dresses. She liked wearing pants. She liked wearing collared shirts. she was very masculine presenting for her time. And I want to say kudos to her and her family, because they allowed her to explore herself with no judgments.
That's so awesome. Don't you love that?
I do. I really, really, really do. Like, I didn't get that luxury. And that's why I chose her, because I am a bratty femme. I'm a submissive femme. But in my house, well, I don't even want to say in my household, just one person, but you know what? I'm not even going to sugarcoat the shit. My dad didn't let me have the thoughts of that being who I was. So it was something that I suppressed a very long time. And that was one thing fascinating about Polly's story, is her family didn't suppress that. They actually allowed her to be herself at a time where that is something that could have got her killed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that is a bold move. And then on top of that, I believe she went to Howard like her father, and studied law. She ultimately ended up at Yale with her graduates. And at first, when she applied to Yale, they did not allow her in because she was a Black woman.
Right.
And a really fun fact that a lot of people don't know that I'm going to bring up that is important to me. Again, and this is like huge. The foundation for the argument for the Brown versus Board arguments that Thurgood Marshall actually had fought in court, she was the writer of that. She was the brains behind that. It was a Black woman, Polly Murray. You hear what I'm saying? Like, and she did it actually, I believe they said 10 years before it actually came into play. When they first presented it to her, nobody would listen to her because she was a woman. So she would talk about her experiences in class when she would want to give her opinion, and they wouldn't call on her. They wouldn't acknowledge her. Basically, like she wasn't even there. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you should consider yourself lucky to even be in this classroom type of situation. And then once they found out that she actually had a brain and that Thurgood Marshall was actually paying attention to her, that is when they wanted to give her credit. And it's just sad. I say it's sad, but I'm very thankful for people like him who would take the time to back us. Even if at a time he wasn't very sure, you still did it. That gave us a chance. And she took that chance, and she was bold in that chance. And ultimately, I mean, that is one of the moving cases in Black history, you know, that formed education for us as a whole, even though it's still pretty shitty today. It's what allowed us to even go to school in schools that weren't really truly segregated. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is amazing. Like, sorry. I try not to dote on her too much. I just get really excited.
No, she's dope.
She really is. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I was intrigued by her. And then, you know, later in life, she actually went to school to be a priest. Like a Catholic, I think it was Catholic priest. And no, Methodist, excuse me. It was Methodist priest. There we go. She went to school, and she was well older, but she was one of the first few women to actually get her clerical thing to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. So, and what's killer about it, again, she's gay. Right. So she is one of the, and I don't know if people know this, but I'm also going to tell on myself. I'm from Oklahoma. Here, some of the main churches that are actually accepting of us are Methodist. And I don't think that was a coincidence. I personally don't go to church.
My dad's a Methodist pastor.
Are you kidding? Well, that makes sense, because your dad is like one of the most optimistic, open-minded preachers I've ever even heard of. Because, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to tell your business again, but Queen Iris has a lot of lesbian friends. She's surrounded by us. And I'm thankful that her dad allowed her to be so open, you know, because, you know, as people, we have a faith too. We don't like to be turned away because of our faith or our ideas doesn't match a book. And this is one of the things that her dad preaches is love. It doesn't look the same. It's not for us to judge. That's God's job. My job is to make sure that you understand the assignment. Mm-hmm. And that's what I feel like preachers need to be doing instead of worrying about who I'm fucking on. It's none of your business. Are you worried about my soul? You hear what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to get on that whole spiel about that, but back to Polly. She opened up the gateways for us to. She did more of unions, like, because we couldn't get married. It wasn't something that, we just got that right. So she did unions, like, in secret. Like, she was one of the first people to just preach love is love. And I feel like that is a huge stepping stone, even in the feminist movement, because, this is tough because I am a firm believer that feminism looks different for different cultures.
Right.
And I only speak for being a Black woman. Feminism, for us, is just equality. It's wanting us to be able to stand toe to toe with these people and not be judged because of what is between our legs, what's not between our legs, how we choose to wear, what we choose to not wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nobody's business but ours. We don't judge anybody else's relationship. We just want the same. We just want that judgment-free abilities to live our lives the same. Exactly. And that's why being Black and being gay is hard. You know what I'm saying? Because, sometimes people don't want to take you seriously and they don't want to respect your views. And I feel like Polly was one of those people who opened the gateways for us to say, my views are important. I don't care about how you feel. And that's why I chose her. I didn't choose two people because she's just phenomenal.
Dope. Yeah. Like when I think of the poem Phenomenal Woman, like, she embodies that. Like, wow,
Yeah, that's why
like, when I say from like itty bitty to like a grown ass woman, like, she was always like, I know who I am who I am. And that's magical. That's Black girl magic right there. That's some serious Black girl magic right there. Okay, like, sis, she's dope. But you know what, another thing that I wanted to also talk about in regards to Black history, do you have something else that you wanted to say about her? Because you made me think of it when you said something.
I'm open for dialogue. Go ahead.
So there was something that you said, and I can't exactly remember what it was because, like I said, she's a phenomenal woman. So I was like listening. I was like on to everything. You know what I'm saying? But there was something that you said that triggered the thought. It's a shame that the schools here in Maryland this year did not teach Black history.
I don't know if you noticed as a whole, but Black history was a very turbulent topic this year. You had some people who were really respecting it, and then you had, like you said, in some areas where it wasn't even acknowledged.
It was sad. It's sad to me because I was taught Black history in school, in elementary school. Every level we had some form of Black history. Like, we always had a project every year, Black history project. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love this episode too, because it reminded me of, when I was back in school and I had a Black history project, you know what I'm saying? Having to look up people and really learning about our people. And what was important for the both of us that we want you all to know is that we purposefully found people that you guys don't really hear about or don't really know. And the reason being for that is because these people deserve their flowers too. There's so many people that are so mainstream, and we're not going to go down a rabbit hole of that the reason that they are mainstream is because the government allows them, their names and stuff, to be mainstream. And the reason that the government allows them to be mainstream is because they had some type of agreement, some way, some form, somehow with the government in some aspect. So like I said, we're not going to go down the rabbit hole of that, but we wanted to give you guys people that are not so mainstream. And we know, people, like, there was a Black man that did the traffic light, and there was a Black man that did the, that was the inventor of the peanut butter. and it was truly a Black man, not Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. But you know what I'm saying? We know some of those things. So we wanted to really like dive a little deeper and find people that we really don't know. You know what I'm saying? We have no, nobody has really heard of, and really bring them to the forefront. And so I think it's really important for us to continue to dive into our history. And like I said, it's Black 365. Like, don't just make this a February thing. Like, really dive into your history, the Black history, your ancestors, because these are our ancestors. These are the people who deserve veneration. And who knows, some of us might be related to one or two of these people that we spoke about. We don't know. I might be related to Polly because she's from this area. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's up to me, right, to figure it out, or to go down that rabbit hole of my bloodline and to really dig deep and to see who my line or my lineage is. And I really think that I don't think we stress this enough within the Black community. And I really think now some forms of like testing for your ancestry, like ancestry with DNA, or there's 23andMe. I know there's a Black company that does the ancestry testing because they did it for VH1 a few times. And the owner, the lady who does it, she was even on the Breakfast Club. She is just such a sweetheart. Oh my goodness. I think her name is Gina, but she does the ancestral testing, and they tell you guys, where you're from and this thing, I can't wait to be able to do it. I'm going to do it soon. I can't wait to see, exactly like where my lineage is. And then what's crazy is that, not to keep going on a tangent, but there was a Black family here that there was a story on, and through the ancestral testing, a girl found her father. Yeah, she found her dad, and he was like, wait, what? Like, are you kidding me? And actually the way she got in touch with him is through so she did the ancestral testing, right? And she found out that she had brothers that were like literally like a few miles from her, not even like 25 miles away from her. And so she looked them up on social media and she contacted them, and they were like, oh my God, because they did the ancestral test too. And they were like, oh my God, like, you have to contact our dad. So she contacted him, and he thought like, oh, this is a hoax. This is, somebody's playing games. And they took a test and everything, and she was his daughter, and they're building a really beautiful relationship. It's really crazy what you can find. And that's why I also encourage it, because some people they don't really know, who they are, or a parent or somebody may be adopted and they don't know exactly who they are. And these things now allow us to not only find, our ancestry, from way back when, but it can potentially allow you to realize that you've been around family your entire life.
I feel like you're telling me something. And I always tell myself, like, if I got the money, that I would do it. And I forgot all about saying that amongst buying other things. But I really am thinking about it, because it's funny you say that. I've been getting breadcrumbs from my ancestors for a while now about my lineage. And I really I want to test it to see if there's any truth to it. And if there's
truth to it. I've been dropping breadcrumbs here and there, y'all. And she hadn't been picking it up until recently. And then she's really been going down. She's starting to dig now, and she's starting to really get intrigued. And so it's really beautiful to see. So I really can't wait for her to get her testing stuff done for ancestry, because I want to see if I was right.
Yeah, and actually I will do a little mini segment. You just gotta watch and kind of wait for it, but I'll definitely touch on it, because I'm excited. I do believe that there are some Spanish speaking individuals in my family. I don't mean Mexican. I mean probably like Brazilian. And the only reason I say that is because how beautifully dark complected my grandparents are.
Yeah.
And that she's seen them, like they have hair that does not look.
Oh my God, their hair. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Like I get all the time, a lot of people they don't believe me that I'm Black. So I know technically, yes, I am mixed with other things, but my mom did not raise me like that because of the time she grew up in. It doesn't matter. You look Black, you're Black. You're Black. It don't matter. They're gonna like you're Black. You're Black. So I'm Black, So like, but I am interested now that it's more of an acceptable time to say, hey, there are other things inside of me besides just being Black. But I don't doubt that it's not another area that went through the slave trade. I do believe that is I feel like if everybody took the time to truly did some research, you find out that you got people everywhere. I think she just found out last year that Jamaica, you got Jamaica, and look at her. I can see it now. Like she has island feels all over her, and she never understood why. Literally, and this is like not even an old ancestor. We're talking grandparents were straight up from Jamaica type stuff. Like that is cool. Yeah, that's a big deal. This is our heritage, and I encourage everyone, find out where you come from, get a better understanding of yourselves. It will help. This is the time that we can do that. Like, do that shit.
Yeah, figure out who you are. Not just figuring out who you are spiritually, mentally, emotionally, but like really figure out your DNA, like your true DNA. And honestly, I think some people are scared, and I don't even know if I want to go down this road, and I think you know where I'm going. I think some people are scared because they may find out that a parent might not be their parent.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a strong possibility, even in my situation, that some family secrets are going to come to light. And I feel like that's just one of the reasons why. Oh my gosh, that song, We Don't Talk About Bruno. That's
no.
That's literally what came to my head. Like, it's one of those things we just don't talk about, but we're going to today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen an orb. I've seen 2 so far. I'm not gonna fight.
They're crazy. They're always around you. I love it.
You do pick up on that. You picked up on that in the last episode. It was like crazy though, the last episode.
Especially after it. Y'all didn't see after it. Oh my goodness. After it was wild. Like it was there, here, there's one there. Ooh, it's another one. Like it was just, and then it got to the point where I was reacting and she was like, stop reacting. Like you're making me anxious, stop reacting. And I just couldn't. I was like, okay, I had to put myself on mute.
Yeah. And my grandmother came and talked to her to calm me down because that's how bad it was.
Yeah. It was dope though. It was really dope. It was dope.
It's dope.
That should have been my damn happy hour for real.
You know what? I would if it wasn't uncomfortable. It was. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I think that's why I'm so good at what I do, is because of how close I walk with spirit. I can attest. There's people that I can call right now, and I can be like, "Hey, yo, didn't I tell you about yourself? And I don't even know you." You'll be like, "Yeah, that's because that's how gifted this works." She can do the same thing. As a matter of fact, she's so good. She tapped into her gifts earlier. I'm still learning how to be like comfortable with the fact that these motherfuckers just be talking to me whenever. Like, oh shit, you can't hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Leave me alone. Like, type of situation. It's uncomfortable.
very, it can be very uncomfortable. Even to I'm not gonna say the most seasoned, but sometimes to seasoned individuals, it can be uncomfortable too, because it'd be like, yo, like, not now. And they could be like, oh now. Like, yeah, now. Right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I didn't even
especially when you have to see yourself and you have to do shadow work.
Yeah.
That's when it can be really, really uncomfortable, because this is like, yo, stop. Like, and they're like, no, we want you to see exactly you for who you are. Like, no, you gotta see this, because this is some shit, and you need to see it.
Yeah, that's, oh my gosh, the first time I ever did a mirror exercise like that, and that was, the mirror broke shortly after.
And shit'll break you down.
It was like, it's to a point now, like, I can feel when a portal is open through a mirror. It's to that point. That's how sensitive I am, and I don't like it.
You know what I'm thinking about now, right? Too.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I know, but I'm just thinking about that.
That was creepy, because you could literally see the handprint that wasn't there the next day,
and none of us cleaned it
because it wasn't printed. It literally. I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like, no. No, we done been through things. We done been to the other side and back.
Yeah, she ain't lying. But you know what? Since we're gonna stop there, we might as well go ahead and stop there. We told y'all we was not gonna hold y'all long this episode, so that is actually our episodes this evening, and I had a good time. What about you, sis?
I'm a little tipsy, but I feel pretty good. Spirit has been talking with me this entire time. I feel like even the great Polly even came in to say a couple words.
Her energy was here. She was like, "Talk about me, sis." She was like, "Give me, because these my flowers."
They don't know. Yeah. Oh, but she wanted me to let y'all know that it wasn't Yale, it was Harvard. She said it was Harvard got denied from. She applied to Harvard first, and they did not let her in because she was a Black woman. And later they wanted to retract that, but she didn't. She wasn't interested. Yeah, pretty much. So, which everybody knows, Harvard is deeply rooted with certain racist ideologies.
Yeah.
I feel like even to this day, but we're never gonna get into that. But thank you guys for tuning in and being here with us, and definitely touching on some unknown Black history that is just fun. You know, I
had a good time. You know what? I think I had a great time. I think I had the most fun researching, because it really helped tap into my inner child. Because like I said, when we was back in school, we used to have projects like this and stuff. So this made me feel really good.
Did y'all do the little Black history? It wasn't a play. It would be like a little show where everybody did like their dance and their little acting scenes. Like it was like a mix, like a little variety show. So do that. We did that here.
No, we did shit like dressed up as the character, or had like plays as the character. Like we actually have plays of the characters and stuff like that, like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, stuff like that. Yeah, we had things like that, but we didn't have what seems to be weird. Yeah,
I remember dancing. I was in a big girl group. We would, boy, killed that.
Oh, and before we go, another thing. Make sure you guys visit the African American Museum out here in DC. Y'all have to visit the museum. That museum has been open for, I want to say, about 5 years now. So make sure if you are in the DMV area at any point, whether you live here, you visiting, or whatever, make sure you go to the African American Museum and check it out.
Also, sidebar, if you watch this video, definitely subscribe to our channel, Imperfect Peace. We have officially moved to our official channel, Imperfect Peace. So that is like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, put it everywhere. Tell us your favorite part. I mean, we are open. Like, I don't even want to say no bullshit comment.
Even on our previous episodes, because we, like I said, we don't always do certain things. Like we have episodes where we do spiritual doctor, and I know you guys have seen like these last few episodes we haven't done spiritual doctor. That's not to say that spiritual doctor is gone, because of course we announced that we were going to be doing it live for you guys, but that's just to say that we are versatile. We're a versatile podcast, and we just like going with the flow, and whatever spirit leads us and wherever spirit takes us, that's where we go. So, we're just two priestesses just doing our thing. So,
yeah, that's literally it. That's why I'm like, I enjoy this so much because I'm really low-key a nerd. I'm a super nerd.
Me too.
I enjoy researching. I enjoy talking about different topics that aren't just celebrity news. That's why we do this. And soon, if you want to have private sessions with us for Spiritual Doctor, that will be available. Again, check us in the just keep watching. We're going to release more information about it later and how you can get in touch with us on that, and that'll be juicy as well. But I'm so excited. We're doing a lot of good shit this year. We are. Just y'all watch and stay tuned. I'm excited.
Me too. All right. Well, that is our episode for today. And thank you guys for joining us. Like she said, like, share, and subscribe. This is our new channel, y'all. Make sure y'all are killing it with us, man. Keep coming, liking, watching. We love y'all. Definitely comment, let us know, what you're thinking, and share. Hit that notification bell as well so that you guys are tuned in every time we drop a new episode. Y'all know we drop every Monday, but it be at various times sometimes. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when it's dropping. And we always do a premiere, and usually during the premiere, I'm here, she's there. So chat it out with us in the premieres, y'all.
Yeah. Come hang out with us. Come talk with us. We're literally in the premieres.
Exactly.
Questions. We're there.
We're here. So yeah, I'm not gonna say there because